Then they use this part, white part of the vehicle spark plug that they throw at the window, which the glasses shatters and give way for them to enter and steal all the belongings inside the vehicle.
Among the stolen items are television sets, telephones, a vehicle, motorcycles, and many others. Police authorities use the opportunity before the press to urge the public for more vigilance.
To appeal to the population to consolidate the security convention with the police, to denounce every fact so that at this eve of the end of year's festivity, we shall be in perfect peace.
The 8 suspects, most of them ex-convicts, remain behind bars for justice to take its course.
Now, in 2014, the government of Cameroon slammed a ban on the so-called sachet whiskies, or whiskey contained in small plastic bags. But despite the prohibition, the liquor, whose origins remain doubtful according to the authorities, continues enjoying widespread popularity across Cameroon. Up next, Ambo Gladys says it is consumed in several ways.
It is a routine in these palm wine joints. Young men, unsatisfied with the alcoholic content of the palm wine, resort to dilute with sachets of whiskey before drinking. Others take it at a go. Due to low purchasing power, the young men prefer to consume what will make them drunk at a cheaper rate. We dilute sachets of whiskey in the palm wine commonly known as matango because when we drink, we have peace of mind. It drunkens more than beer with 650 CFA francs. We can buy 3 sachets of whiskey and 2 liters of palm wine, dilute and then drink with friends, and we are all happy. Fighter, Vodka, Rum, Bullet, Shooter and Gin are the different sachet whiskey brands with high alcoholic percentages. Their prices vary from 100 to 150 CFA francs. Consumers admit the liquor is dangerous to health but prefer to consume in order to gain strength and courage. It is dangerous, but it gives us strength. What else can we do? Everyone must die someday. If I drink, I will die, and if I don't drink, I will still die. So I prefer to drink and die later. The order banning the sale of sachet whiskey a few years back in Cameroon is not being respected. Hawkers and shops still sell the adulterated hot drinks. The Cameroon Association for the Protection of Consumers has always sensitized the population on the dangers of consuming the adulterated whiskey. We are sensitizing consumers to let them know that sachet whiskey had been banned since 2014. The product is dangerous to health. We are here to inform them that whiskey in sachet kills. The alcohol content is usually very high, and sometimes it is not mentioned on the plastic bags, and so consumers drink without knowing the content, whereas with bottled whiskey, the alcohol percentage is mentioned. The deadline granted producers of sachet whiskey to withdraw them from the market ends in December 2022.
Now let's move on to something else, because changes in the behavior of the weather has continued baffling residents across most parts of Cameroon. Inhabitants of Yaoundé were living witnesses of climate change Monday as they woke up amidst heavy downpours of rain, only to be surprised a couple of hours later by scorching and rising temperatures across the city. Beatrice Ngamo says it is an increasingly changing trend in the capital city.
The rain announced itself in the wee hours of Monday, taking the morning hostage till around 8 a.m. Then by 9:30, the sun took the relay, sharp and scourging. The variation of time yesterday, like many other days, a disturbing phenomenon. Worrisome sudden changes in temperatures, whose consequences are being felt. The health of children like adults, preoccupying with fever and temperatures. The question on many lips is, which season are we really in? Is it the raining season, which should be the case now, or the dry season? Our worry took us to the National Observatory on climate change. We are supposed at the moment to be living the dry season, except that we continue to have quantities of precipitations, as has been announced. It falls in line with the manifestations of climate change. The reason for the sudden changes noticed, blends of rain and sun, switching days and time. This quality of precipitation is equally translated by illegal and temporal spatial repartition, and in the fact that all the agroecological zones concerned do not receive the same amount of precipitations and even less the same number of rainy days. This is to signify that the south part of the center, like East region, still living the precipitation till now, we progressively begin registering drops, moving gradually into the great dry season as December steps in.
Now, homegrown fish is gaining expanding recognition across Cameroon and might, in the very near future, make it to the charcoal grills of the country's roast fish vendors. And as the numbers of local fish farmers continue to swell, vendors in Douala are being drilled on the best techniques of roasting aquaculture fish. Gladys Sambo reports.
It is in a bid to promote local fish farming and the value chain that these roasted fish vendors in Douala, Cameroon have been schooled on best practices on their activities by the Marine Fisheries Development Fund.
Professionals seem to have problems in selling their fish. So we thought that these professionals that are working in the area of roasting fish can help us to actually make the link between producers and consumers. It's also to work in the area of hygiene and sanitation to protect the health of consumers. It's also to promote entrepreneurship.
The roasted fish vendors have also been drilled on how to improve the taste, hygiene, and the quality of locally produced fish, such as tilapia, catfish, and carp, to attract more consumers.
During the training, we were taught that most seasonings destroy our organs, and so we learned how to produce homemade seasonings without additives. This by using mushrooms, fish eggs, onion, lime, white pepper, and salt. We also acquired knowledge on how to prevent the fish from sticking on the charcoal fish grill.
The nutrient is conserved more than the one that we put inside the fish. Other thing is that it's not expensive. The vitamin is more conserved.
The roasted fish vendors carried out practical works at the end of the training by roasting some locally produced fresh fish, which were served by the trainers to ensure the lessons were well understood.
Now, this November 15 marks 20 years since the coming into being of the African Synergies Against AIDS and Suffering. The achievements and challenges facing the non-governmental organization founded by Cameroon's First Lady Chantal Biya were placed on the scanners at a news conference in Yaoundé this afternoon. Beatrice Ngamu was one of the attendees and says the challenges might be great, but the commitment remains unchanged.
The hallmark of the First Ladies of African Synergy has been in prevention of HIV/AIDS, especially amongst young people. Thus far, AIDS has ceased to be a taboo subject. The number of new infections and AIDS-related deaths is steadily declining, moving from nearly 4 million infections per year in the 2000s to less than 1 million per year in 2021. This has been through programs such as the AIDS-Free Holiday Campaign, My Bet for 2030, advocacy of as a center of excellence in the field of research on the prevention and management of HIV, hepatitis, and tropical diseases. The 20-year journey by the African Synergy, one strewn with pitfalls.
And this is one of the difficulties that we have, getting mobilizing funds from other First Ladies. But the First Lady of Cameroon, being the founding president of the association, okay, she has to bear on her, actions. That's how we manage to do, because we will not give up. We will not just close the doors because of the difficulties elsewhere, but we try to give on.
The challenges notwithstanding, Chantal Biya and her sisters of the continent are optimistic. True, the executive secretary pronounced the same commitments for the next 20 years, with the health and social challenges notwithstanding, as infectious diseases, non-communicable diseases, cancer and cardiovascular diseases continue to test our health systems, worsened by emerging and re-emerging diseases such as COVID-19, monkeypox, Ebola, and the consequences of global warming. But the fact of Africa reiterates they will continue to invest in young people to make them real bearers and vectors of change on the continent.
Over 800 women die across the globe every day as a result of pregnancy-related complications. The scary figure is sourced from the logbooks at the World Health Organization, which warns that the situation risks becoming gloomier if sexual education and sexual reproductive education continue to be ignored across the globe. Sherif Asali reports.
Health experts from sub-Sahara Africa are meeting in Douala, Cameroon to discuss on sexual and reproductive rights.
We see progress in our countries, but the progress is slow. And we know that our aim is to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Sustainable Development Goal number 3, which is about health and the well-being of the population. So I'll give an example. Access to family planning. The rate is very low in our countries. I think in Cameroon is around 20-25.
According to the World Health Organization, about 810 women are reported to die every day from pregnancy-related complications and childbirth in low and middle-income countries. Meanwhile, many suffer from long-term disability and poor health.
Most of African countries need to accelerate the reduction of maternal mortality by around 10% per year. But from the period from 2017, we have reduced on average by 2.9. So we need to speed up.
At the end of this 3-day workshop, holding in Douala from November 15 to 18, 2022, participants are expected to create entry points in sexual and reproductive health rights to explore and share effectiveness that can be extended to a range of technical areas and different national contexts.
Now, a senior official in the Ministry of Higher Education has urged the proprietors and managers of higher institutions of learning across the Southwest region to ensure that they strive towards graduating job-ready students. Professor Wilfred Gapsa made the call during an academic conclave in Boya. At the same ceremony, he said that students who are well trained in terms of quality could serve as instruments for social integration. Ines Ondo-Ambala.
The government of Cameroon, through the Ministry of Higher Education, have congratulated the Biaka University Institute of Boya for quality teaching, calling on officials of the institution to continue accompanying the state in training the youth through quality education. This message was echoed by the representative of the Minister of Higher Education during the end of course and prize award ceremony of the Biaka University Institute of Boya.
So, Madam, the Chair and Vice Chancellor of Biaka University Institute, we have all seen the marvelous job she's doing within this region for young Cameroonians, giving them the kind of training they need that can help them become useful citizens of our dear and beloved country, Cameroon, and why not beyond the national territory of this country. It's a beautiful ceremony we have lived, which demonstrates the quality and status of the Biaka University within the higher education system.
With the University of Boya being its mentor university, the BUIB has recorded tremendous results in the teaching and learning process.
We have expanded and extended our existing schools, which is health sciences, management sciences, and education, following a recent authorization from MINISUP for us to run programs in agricultural sciences and engineering and technology under the mentorship of the University of Boya.
These students have come to the end of their studies with outstanding performances recorded. They are receiving end-of-course certificates in prize award.
I'm very happy for this wonderful event. Thank God today that we made the right choice and we've come to a conclusion that the audacity is different.
I'm really excited. It was not an easy journey, but I want to thank God for everything, and I also want to tell you out there that Biaka is a place to be. You all should. You know, Biaka is somewhere. He has so many potentials. Right now, I already have somewhere that I'm working, but I was still schooling. So I thank God for the graduation for today.
I want to encourage everybody out there, all those that they think maybe they cannot pursue their education or they're looking for the best universities to attend. I'm telling you all to come to Biaka University. We have one of the best lecturers. The school is so comfortable. And thank you all for the congratulations. Thank you all for the well wishes.
Biaka University Institute of Boya has put these students into the job market. They are fit to serve in both government and private institutions.
Now, the Cameroon movie industry has continued gaining fame across the world. Landry Ngetsa is the latest name claiming the global news headlines after he harvested the award for Best Actor from Central Africa at the Sodigi Awards in Burkina Faso at the weekend. Stephanie Chin reports.
J'ai envie de chanter. Ce qui arrive aux autres commence déjà à m'arriver.
It is with joy that Landry Ngetsa returns to his home country, Cameroon, after winning the 2022 Sotigui Award as Best Actor for Central Africa, an award ceremony which took place in Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. The actor, known to be a reincarnation of the legend Jean-Michel Kankan, arrived at the Douala International Airport this November 14, where he was received in grand style. Landry is still overwhelmed by joy.
Je suis très heureux.
I am so happy. Just being nominated for me was already victory. Coming back with this trophy is a bonus to me. So I am so happy. I am so glad.
Je suis très heureux. Je suis très ému. Beaucoup de personnes qui ont soutenu ce projet.
There are many people who supported this project. Even those at the backstage, I say thank you. I only wish to thank those who learned I was nominated and did not cease to post, to encourage, and to say their hearts are with me. So to them also, I dedicate this prize. It is equally their prize. Landry Ngetsa embraces a new phase of his career after this maiden trophy in cinematography, a journey which has known criticism, but he says determination kept him going.
Il y a des aînés qui
There are people who will want to discourage you, saying you could decide to sell tomatoes, you can sell clothes, because this profession is not meant for you. They say so much of that you are not competent. No, don't believe them. Believe in yourself, because I was told that too, and I have returned with this. Landry Ngetsa has expressed gratitude towards his production team, the population of Cameroon at large, and his fans in particular for their enormous support.
More news at 7:50 p.m. with Alain Ghislain Kanga, and before then, the debrief comes up right after me with Lil Piju and her guest. Catch you tomorrow.